Dolphins Today is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Our newest sponsor here at Chat Sports is the cell phone provider owned by famous actor Ryan Reynolds. We'll tell you more about him later on in today's show. And on today's show, we're getting into a trade mailbag. I am Will Scott, going to show your trade ideas here on Dolphins Today. But first, go down and like this video if you're all about the Dolphins, because we're trying to grow our channel here at Chat Sports, and we just hit 26,000 subscribers, and the way that we continue to grow the channel is through you, because the more people that like our video, the more likely it is that people that are not subscribed are going to come across our channel. So we would really appreciate your support. Go down, hit that thumbs up icon if you're all about the Dolphins. Southern Players 469 trade idea is this: Dolphins receive Orlando Brown Jr., Chiefs receive Eric Rowe, Austin Jackson, and a 2023 second-round pick. And this is interesting timing, Southern Player 469, because Orlando Brown did not report to Chiefs training camp. Not a surprise, according to Mike Garafolo. So don't expect Brown anytime soon at training camp. He tweeted without hesitation. Now, I would do this trade. I know it's somewhat a lot to give up for a guy that's on an expiring contract, but wherever Brown ends up, he's going to sign a long-term deal. Now, the problem if you're Miami is, are you willing to pay your left tackle and your right tackle that much money? You've obviously given Teron Armstead a massive 5-year contract. Orlando Brown is going to want something very similar. Now, a lot of people have been in the comments saying, well, he doesn't want to play right tackle again. Correction. He doesn't want to get paid like a right tackle. He wants to get paid like a left tackle. So pay him like a left tackle, because if he's the right tackle on Miami, he's going to be protecting Tua Tagovailoa's blind side. I would do this. You'd be giving up your third safety in Eric Rowe. Austin Jackson, who a lot of people think is a bust at this point. You'd be giving those guys up and a second-round pick. That's probably what it would take to get a player like Orlando Brown Jr., but would the Chiefs want Austin Jackson, who, like I just said, a lot of people believe is a bust? That would be the question. I don't know if they'd feel comfortable with Jackson protecting Patrick Mahomes in any capacity. They might accept AJ in that deal, but then they'd go sign an offensive tackle, maybe like Darrell Williams, that's still out there in free agency. Now, it's interesting because, yes, Brown is a left tackle. That's what he's been playing in Kansas City, but in Baltimore, he was the starting right tackle. So in the first 4 years of his career, he has played right tackle more than he has played left tackle. And look at how much better this Dolphins offensive line would look like with Orlando Brown Jr. You would have him protecting to his blind side. You would have Teron Armstead protecting the left side. And then, we'll forget about Connor Williams. I'm just trying to kind of erase him from this depth chart because the rest of it looks great, maybe outside of Eichenberg too, but your tackles would be two of the best in the National Football League. Now, do you want to trade for Orlando Brown Jr.? Type T for trade or type P for pass down in the comments section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. When that break comes, go down, chime in. Do you want to trade for Orlando Brown Jr.? Type T or P. Another guy that might be on the trade block is Jessie Bates. This coming from Daniel San Miyaga's trade idea that he posted on our community page. Dolphins receive Jessie Bates. Bengals receive second-round pick next season. Tom Pelissero reporting this. As expected, Bengals star safety Jessie Bates did not report to training camp. And it's interesting, and Orlando Brown's in the same boat. Bates hasn't signed his $12.9 million franchise tender and thus isn't subject to fines for his absence, which could go on for a while. Now, in reference to the trade we just showed, it would probably take a first-round pick. I don't think a second-round pick would be enough to get Bates, even though he is on an expiring contract. And if you trade for Bates, you'd have to pay him. Now, if you traded a second-round pick in that deal, they'd also want Brandon Jones. So you'd have to trade Jones and a second-round pick. That might be more likely. Now, this is why you subscribe to the channel, because if the Dolphins make a move, and we're talking about all these trade ideas, and it is very possible the Dolphins are going to make a trade. We've seen them sign a couple players at the start of training camp. So if the Dolphins make a move, we're going to make a video. Go down and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on your notifications as well. While you're down there, go check out Mint Mobile. That's the link right there to get this great deal we're giving you here on Dolphins Today. Mint Mobile is offering you unlimited data. Your mom is going to ask you to stop calling so much because you got all this unlimited data. Not only that, you're going to have the best connection. It's going to switch seamlessly between 5G and 4G LTE, whatever network is the strongest. You can use your data however you like, wherever you want, and most importantly, premium unlimited wireless plans starting at $15 per month. That's the deal, but you got to go to that link to get the deal, mintmobile.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and the description of this video. Shout out to Miami Dakota. We appreciate you, one of our loyal subscribers here. This is what Miami Dakota says. Gaskin to the Saints for Eric McCoy or Cesar Ruiz. This is what that would look like in terms of their depth chart. So this is the Saints offensive line depth chart. So it's pretty solid on the offensive line. They have Nick Martin that they just signed, so I don't think they'd feel comfortable making him the starting center, which is probably why they wouldn't trade McCoy. Maybe you'd have to include Michael Dieter in a deal, but Eichenberg is set to be the starting left guard right now. He doesn't have any experience at that position. Trade for Ruiz and then make him your left guard. I really, really like this idea from Miami Dakota. And if the Saints want Gaskin, and the Saints have been linked to Gaskin, Gaskin is obviously a trade candidate, then make the Saints give up an offensive lineman rather than, let's say, a 5th or 6th round pick. Now, if you had to trade for one of these two guys, who would you trade for? Would it be center, Eric McCoy, or would it be guard, Cesar Ruiz? Go down and chime in down in the comments section. Type EM for McCoy or type CR for Ruiz. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Dolphins receive Mike McGlinchey, an offensive tackle from the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers receive Preston Williams in a 6th-round pick. I like this idea. I don't know if it would be enough. Now, McGlinchey is on an expiring contract. He suffered a season-ending injury last year, 9th overall pick in 2018. He would be a huge, and I mean huge, upgrade over Austin Jackson at right tackle. I like this idea, but you're probably going to have to give up a lot more than a 6th-round pick in Preston Williams to get McGlinchey. Carter Reimer, this is his trade idea. Dolphins receive Jordan Poyer. Oh, my goodness, wouldn't that be something? Bills receive Eric Rowe and a 3rd-round pick. Now, Poyer has been, I wouldn't say in trade rumors, however, he's looking for an extension, and he's an unrestricted free agent next year. And guess who's his agent? Drew Rosenhaus. We love Drew Rosenhaus in Miami. He's a Miami guy. Tyreek Hill's agent, too. So we really like Drew. And I don't know if Drew is at the negotiating table with the Bills and the Bills are not giving Poyer what he wants, maybe he requests a trade. You're talking about one of the best safeties in the league when you're talking about Poyer. 93 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 5 interceptions last season. He wants to get paid. Buffalo would be stupid not to pay him, but if they don't pay him, then maybe they trade him. I don't think it's really likely, though, that that he'll get traded within the division. I know that we've seen trades with the Patriots in the past. I know that they traded Devontae Parker to New England, but I don't think the Bills would trade within the division. I kind of have the same feeling with Mekhi Becton and the Jets. I don't really think that's realistic. Now, who says no to this deal? Is it Buffalo or is it Miami? Type BUF for the Bills or type MIA for the Miami Dolphins. Go down, chime in down in the comments section. Who says no to this deal? I don't think this deal is likely, though. Like I said, trading in the division is not something you see very often. I think it's very unlikely, especially when you're talking about a player like Jordan Poyer. Thanks for watching this edition of Dolphins Today. If you haven't already, go down and subscribe to the channel. We got you covered throughout Dolphins training camp.